Sail away, sail away, sail away. Oh, we're live. Here we are. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is this week's edition of the MMA Huddle. As you can see, Big Willie style isn't here. I know. I'm sorry. That's why I'm doing an early edition, kind of Monday stream of the MMA Huddle for the Hermansson Vettori breakdown. Will is a bit tied up this week. We're just exchanging messages, and that is what's happened. So apologies to one and all for what is going on this week. I'm just quickly jumping online just to share it out there on the social media front so people can see that the podcast is live and it's a stream. Let's go and click here, retweet that, and let's click the link to make sure my fat mug is on here. There it is. There is my extremely fat mug on this screen. I'm just going to break down a quick kind of run over the card without Will, which sucks. I know it's a shame that Will isn't here, but hopefully he'll be back next week. He's tied up with some stuff with family things, and I understand. Last week's card was a bit of a surprise. I think the main thing that you and I and everyone else is looking forward to is if Rachel Ostovich is going to set up her OnlyFans account soon, because it's looking like it's going that way. Let me just do a final quick pop out there on social media just to let people know it is live and they can tune in anywhere and anyhow they wish. There we go. And I'll just quickly tap. There we are. Yeah, so thanks all for joining me. It's great to be back here another week, another breakdown. We have this and two more cards before the Christmas festive period. Obviously, everyone has different religions. I want to say I hope you're all going to have a splendid time. I hope the folks across stateside had a great Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for all of you subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done already, please hit that button. Thank you all, and hit the like button down below. Will should be back next week. He should be all good. We're going to jump into this card because, like I say, I'm kind of looking forward to this card, to be honest with you. I think it's a decent card. I think there's a handful of good fights on there. So we're going to start, like I said, last week me and Will had changed the layout a little bit. What we've done is we've went from the kind of start of the main card. We'll work through the main card. Then we do our kind of quick picks on the earlier prelims. I'm going to kind of stick to that format even today and just try and not whiz through it, but at the same time, just keep it that way going forward. If you at home have any thoughts about the way we lay it out and the way we're doing it, feel free to chime in. But I'm going to jump straight into it. The first fight on the card I'm going to start to break down and look into. Just my 2 cents, brother. It's great to see you. I'm doing very well, brother. My my LA Chargers keep letting me down. That's the only thing, brother, I can say right now. It's breaking my heart that they just can't win a game. Like, just win a game, please, for me. Just stop losing, because we've got a good team. We've got a young kid, a quarterback, and everything. So it's really it sucks. Anyway, so we're gonna go with Movsar of Evloev against Nate Landwehr. Now that is a hell of a fight. You know, late Landwehr, we've seen in that fight that he recently had with Elkins. He's just a war machine, literally a war machine. You know, the guy is aggressive coming forward. He's shown, to be fair, he's quite durable. He's got pretty good, decent cardio. I've been impressed with that side of him. He got caught, obviously, in his UFC debut. But other than that, he's been pretty consistent and been performance-wise. He's just a guy that gets in fighters' heads. When he's coming forward, he's able to take your punches. He doesn't slow down. As a fighter, I don't want to say it breaks you, but it does have an influence on you. It does frustrate you as a fighter. So, you know what? I've been impressed with him, but he's going against the dude here. Cowboys fans, so we can get something together. Man, the Cowboys season, bro. What is going on there, man? I got to be honest. I don't think the Cowboys have got a bad side. I think you've got a good offense there, bro. So I don't know what's going on with that, man. Like I say, he's fighting a guy in Evloev who is just, for me, a big fan. I'm a big fan of this kid. Huge talent, super young, like mid-20s. You know, he got that performance against Mike Grundy, who I've got to say I was a bit gutted about because I'm a big Mike Grundy fan, but I knew it would be a tough test. That breaking Mike Grundy's jaw or fracturing his jaw in the first round was very impressive. I thought that Mike Grundy did well in the fight as a whole. Liam, yeah, I'm good, bro. Great to have you on, my friend. I'm feeling good. Yes, sorry Will isn't here, brother. He's just tied up with some bits, so we can't do the stream at the same time. I know he's doing his breakdown when a different time, but when we do it together, it's just a bit difficult because I don't know how to get two YouTube live streams together. We could do us together like that. It'd be a lot easier. But for now, this is what I've got. Yeah, man, I've got to say, Evloev is a monster. The dude has got great conditioning, so Nate is going to have a problem with that because he's such a good guy. The grappling aspect, Evloev is so ridiculously talented. He's got great chain wrestling. He can switch between different takedowns. He gets a good body lock. He's heavy on top. He's got a great kind of skill set that I am a big fan of. I think that what he can do in this fight is really cause problems for Nate because Nate's going to want to just have a bit of a brawl, bit of a war, and he might want to throw some leg kicks. He'll have to really stomp that out. And I see Evloev here really getting advantage of this fight, getting a hold of it. And I think he's just going to grind Nate. I don't think Nate's going to be defeated in any way. He'll still do his brash mannerisms in the cage. He'll still be quite talkative, but I still feel Evloev's just going to get the better of him. I think it might be a decision win. I still think Evloev's going to throw some hands. He'll start to show that a bit of confidence in him after the Mike Grundy fight. But for me, your bread and butter of Evloev, get the guy down, just beat him with that skill set, man. And I think that's what we're going to see there. I think Evloev's going to get the decision win. Next up we have is Roman Dolidze, which I think I pronounced that correctly, against John Allan Arte. Man, that Roman dude, he is a bit of a savage, isn't he? Let's all take our caps off to that guy, man. He's a bit of a beast when he gets in that cage. He's got some power on him. He's got a kind of psycho kind of look to him when he's walking in, when he walks down his fighters. He made a pretty good, decent UFC debut in his last fight. But to be fair, when you beat Cadiz, it's not the biggest upset. I'm super high on Evloev. Yeah, man, got more day in the spot. Yeah, Landwehr will bring the fight. I see another good showcase for. Yeah, same here, brother. Did Till get the Rona? Rona. Do you know what? Darren Till's got some beer, man. He has got a masturbates, mate. He's got ale out, raw dog. So, brother, you might want to enjoy yourself a tinny of that, and you might have a bit of a crack when you watch the fights, brother. Look, Roman's got a beast of a kind of striking repertoire. He's got some power, but what people don't realize is he's got that power because he's got nice heavy feet, because he's got that grappling side of it. People don't realize his grappling resume is ridiculous, and it's something that people might write off. He could heel hook, he could choke, he can do everything he wants to on the ground, but he doesn't need to, and he's got this power as well, man, which is a bonus. Some grapplers don't have it, like Damian Maia. Damian Maia's not a powerful guy with his hands, but he's a guy who can stand on his feet. But I'm telling you right now, Roman's got a great skill set. He's got danger on the ground, and he's got danger on the feet. This guy's going to be a problem for anyone. I think his opponent, John Allan Arte, I'm pronouncing it probably incorrectly because he's Brazilian, but I'm just doing the British or the Manx I am. John Allan or Allan, you could pronounce it. The no contest that fell over with the Mike Rodriguez one, we can obviously write that off. But this fight against, if we go back a bit before that, he fought in Future FC against Alexandre Silva, which was a decent fight. The guy he fought, Silva, was a stacked dude, jacked to the gills, looked like an absolute monster. I love watching Evloev in his last fight, man. Yeah, brilliant. He really was, yeah. Yeah, I was super impressed the way he did that against Mike Grundy. Liam, it caught me right off as well. Dolidze style, yeah, he doesn't have many fights though, so I've got to tape. Tape his opponent. Yeah, he hasn't got a lot of fights, Roman. That's one of the things. You think you worry a little bit, but you got to remember he's got a lot of background in other martial arts that kind of, I don't want to say it's buffers him, but it does help him in a way. He's got a lot of experience in competitions. Now, MMA is not the same as like a jiu-jitsu competition, but there's parts of his skill set that he can apply in this. So I do feel that he's got a great skill set in this fight. I think someone like John Allan, who I've seen lose in the Dana White Contender Series, for example. Lost Vinicius in that fight by a triangle choke. He's lost fights before with submissions. I think there's a slight hole in this game. He's quite a tall guy as well. He's really quite tall in the weight class. 6'3", I think it is. And Roman himself, he's 6'2". I think that you're going to see Roman here potentially use his stand up, get to. Yeah, bro. He's going to go forward, Roman, with the aggressive striking. And if the fight needs to go to the ground, I think that's when Roman will try to take it down. I'm going Roman here. I think he's just got more in his arsenal. I think he's got more weapons to really apply this fight. With John Allan, I found that some of his fights he was able to get clipped on the feet. Was one of the kind of things I noticed on. He just got a bit sloppy with his defense. It felt like he maybe didn't pull the strikes back to his hands, to his face. Sorry, when he threw the strike out. A lot of guys, if you ever done striking or anything like that, when you throw your punches, you bring it back to the chin. 1-2, right back to the chin. A lot of guys you'll see they'll do this and they bring it down. That's if you're a smart fighter and you're a sensible fighter, you take note of that. And what you'll do is when you throw the hand down, you come over the top because by the time they bring the hand back, there's a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm looking for a reason to take Roman here. 2 cents. I'm taking Roman, man. I think he's got the power in his hands, which is deadly. And I think he's also got that submission game. He is also a guy who likes to evolve. He's gone around different gyms around Europe as well. He went around different places just to evolve himself, grow himself. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage. So there's not a big advantage there for Allan in any facet. I think you might even see a submission here from Roman. He's got that skill set to get that done. So I'm going with Roman here for that. Probably, I'm going to go stoppage, guys. I'm going to say stoppage, possibly a submission win, because that's certainly a hole in John's game, or Hon, however you wish to pronounce it. So I'm going towards that way. Next up, guys and girls, we have here we go. Look here. Offense becomes quick defense. Yeah. Glue it right back to your cheek. You do. Yeah. It's like, it's just one of those drills, you've just got to drill it. And I know people get tired and they come down, but sometimes guys have sloppy striking. They just do. If you can watch it time and time again, and it's a bad habit. The coaches aren't snapping it out with them. They're not drilling them enough. And you can see it from the get-go where their hands are just sloppy, or they'll throw a hook and they let the hand drop down. It's one of them ones that has to come back. I always was one of the drills that we used to do was TT. TT, touch temple. You throw your hands out, you touch your temple, throw the hands out, and all you're doing is just touching the temple. Your hand doesn't have to stay up here. You just pop it out, pop, pop, and then you can come down to there. You just a little reminder to get your hand straight to there. As soon as you finish your strikes, you get it straight to the temple, and it's just a good way to build up defense. I found it worked for me. I always just say to myself TT all the time, and it just helps with your hands. Obviously, when you're grappling quite a lot, it does get exhausting to lift your arms up, but you have to do it, otherwise you're going to get knocked out. Next, guys and girls, in the women's flyweight division, we have Montana de la Rosa against Taila Santos. This is a fight I'm quite excited about because Taila Santos is a savage, absolute savage of a girl. She lost that fight against Mara Borella, which blew my mind. I thought, how the hell do you lose to that girl? Split decision, albeit, but at the same time, judges sometimes take fights away. Montana de la Rosa, she is the better of her half. Like, she's got a fella. Do you have boxing? I don't have boxing background, mate. No, I mixed martial arts background, my friend. But obviously, with mixed martial arts, you train in both and all facets. I train with a 2-time Commonwealth Games boxer. So he literally lit me up like a Christmas tree, mate. It was not fair. And when we got to wrestle, that's when I got my own back. I got to grapple him, get him down, and I felt a lot better. But when I was boxing, it was rough. It was rough. I couldn't teep him. I couldn't leg kick him. He just boxed the socks off me. It was a rough ride, my friend. Rough ride. Taila Santos, she is a girl with an insanely good skill set. She's got good hands. She's got lovely clinch work. She's just got power and aggressive behavior. The fight against Molly McCann is the best example, I thought, of her skill set, really on show. One thing we saw with Molly McCann, she just didn't have that kind of solution to kind of go from her plan A to plan B, and her corner just tried to up her, but it never worked. One thing with Taila Santos is you need to have more than one option, and Molly McCann, maybe she can go back and maybe try to address it. But I feel like Molly's game plan of just trying to box didn't work. I had bad habits from karate. Yes, brother, karate will. You don't have your hands up with karate that much. I remember doing karate when I was a young kid. Yeah, really, really. Yeah, the hands were kind of like around the chest area. Yeah, it used to be like this, didn't you? I recall this bit. I remember that from karate. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, Taila Santos is a girl who's going to be aggressive on the feet. One thing I thought Montana De La Rosa did, she has grown. If you watch her fight with Andrea Lee, Mara Barriella, and Viviana, she did show progression with her striking. She has improved her striking. I'm not saying it's huge improvements, but she has seemed to get a little bit more fluidity. She throws some nicer combos. I think she's got a handful of combinations she's comfortable with on her feet. She ideally wants to get the fight to the ground. I think one of the issues she might have with Taila Santos is Talia's a strong girl. She's good at keeping the feet to the fight to the feet. She's got a good clinch game when it's against the cage. She's good at the over under. She's good at dominating on the cage. I think Montana De La Rosa has to get to the fight to the ground. The problem is she can't go she can't go jumping in. She can't jump into this and grab the fight and go for the takedown. Talia's 100% going to be thinking this and expecting it. She needs to then set this up, either throw the combinations, entice Taila to come striking back, shoot for the takedown under the strikes. That's one option. Now, if you're Taila Santos, what you want to be doing is when you throw your combinations, you want to throw an uppercut at the end of the combination, or you throw a knee. By throwing and even mixing them into the combinations, they could be a feint or anything. One of the problems you could do is when you throw the combinations with a knee or an uppercut is that it can put off your opponent. And that's what I want to see. So a lot of fighters don't do that. And it really kind of irks me that you see guys and girls not really implementing this, their fight style. I want to see this happen. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way, all the people who are tuning into the live stream. If you are right now, join the conversation on the picks, who you're looking at or any bets you're looking to put into, and hit that like button while you're there. Just the one little quick cheeky, tick, tick. Guys and girls, Taila Santos for me, though, is a better all-round fighter. I think she's definitely worked on some of her weaknesses against in the Barriella fight. I think Montana's going to have a tough time on the feet. I think if Taila Santos can get her in the clinch, it's going to be a horrible day for Montana. She's going to get messed up in that. I think on the feet, Talia's going to really hurt Montana. You saw more so in the Viviana fight. She was getting busted up. Especially she got a bit deflated. She felt like she just wasn't going to get that win. You could see it in her corner as well. One of the problems I felt for Montana was her corner wasn't giving her the best and strongest advice. I feel like they weren't giving her the right technique in cornering. Sometimes that 1 minute, it makes a difference. Sometimes it doesn't. And in that moment there, they should have been telling her, set up the takedown, go for that immediately, get the single leg in transition to a double, whatever you can do, just get that going. But she didn't, and that cost her to lose that fight. It's a shame, but these things happen. So I'm definitely going to pick Taila Santos. I think it's an opportunity for her to get a huge win again on a kind of resume to build her up at 17-1. And if you're the UFC, she's a girl you really want to build up on your radar for the folks at home as a potential challenger next year, late next year, end of 2021. She could be a potential title challenger. That division needs new opponents all the time going for that belt. So I'm looking forward to this. Taila, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you as well, brother. I'm just having a slurp in my cup of tea. I'm trying not to slurp it too much while I'm with the microphone there. Don't want to be doing that. No, next up in the co-main event, this is a tremendous little bit of matchmaking. You've got Ovince Preux against Jamahal Hill, and I'm loving this fight, man. Honestly, I think you've got a guy who's got a lot of stock to go up, and you've got a guy in OSP who's just really plateaued with himself. He had a little bout at heavyweight against Ben Rothwell, who I think is a big heavyweight and a hard heavyweight to go against. He lost a split decision, so I'm not going to have a go with him in that one. I thought he'd get absolutely murdered there against guys like Wade, but Ben Rothwell's the kind of ideal candidate in this 2020. Ben Rothwell of maybe 2016 would have had a far better opportunity against OSP for the finish. But again, with OSP, you got that finish against Manafield, who ran into the punch as well and kind of really set himself up to get hurt there. And that was a beautiful counter, kind of step-in punch from OSP there to finish the fight. But we know what we get of OSP. We get a hot OSP or a cold OSP. And I always find it hard to go with him on the picks because he always lets you down, or it's horrible. I hate it when he gets a matchup I'm loving Jamahal though as a guy in the light heavyweight division, man. He's had some decision wins in the regional scene, which is great for him to get the time under his belt. I always worry about guys who go in and get early finishes in the first round and get straight up to the UFC, and then when they get dragged to maybe the second, third round, they look like a fish out of water. They can't handle it. Luckily, though, he's had some decision wins. Daquan Townsend was one of them on the regional scene. And then he's got his nice finishes in the UFC as well. So Darko Stasiak is just a big. He's just like a light heavyweight version of John Phillips. He didn't do enough. And then Aberu, Clydeson, whatever you want to call him, Clydeson Aberu. Man, he got absolutely murked and he got wobbled straight early on. Now, for me, Jamahal Hill, he's got a couple of bad tendencies if you watch his fights. Definitely raging. Bro, it is good to see you back, man. Haven't heard you back on here for a while. Yeah, his gas tank. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, going Hill, his hands. My only worry of Hill is if you watch his tape and you'll see it, he overextends on his punches. That straight is a bit overextended. You need to be a bit careful. If I'm the coach of Hill, he's got these lovely long reaches, broad shoulders. They really get a lot of power in his striking. He just needs to be a bit careful and not overextend too much. Because if he overextends, a lot of fighters like an OSP, who's a bit of a veteran, he will entice the strike to step back. All OSP has to do is go half a step back, and the counter is there. If your chin's out in front of you, it's not good nights, because you've got nothing there to support you. At least if you get a punch and your chin's in tight, you can absorb some of the punch. Your neck's going to help support it. With the overextension, you're leaning forward. You got knees, up kicks, and counter hooks. All that good stuff can really wreck your day. Now, a good thing about OSP is he's a veteran. He's got lots of technique. He's got lots of knowledge. So for Hill, this is a great litmus test for him to see if he's ready to go up to that next level in the light heavyweight division. I think OSP's got nice head kicks, as we all know. He's got good strikes. He is a good underpick. He is a good underdog master. I admit, bro, he has got some things on because he's so unreliable. He could sometimes work out really well. Yeah, OSP has been yeah, he does, man. OSP does because he can just pull out a submission or a stoppage, and it's I think we're buffering here. We are. I'm buffering. Here we go. Sorry, guys and girls. I didn't know I was buffering. Every time I see that he's fighting, I just facepalm, man. Keep getting man. I hope Hill is patient in this fight. I feel that OSP is not going to be super aggressive, so Hill's going to have to take his time. And a good thing with a veteran like that is you're just going to be smart to get that victory. So I'm going to go with Hill. I think he should get the win. I think he should get this wrapped up, and it's going to be a great one for him. You've got a lovely, fresh-blooded guy going into the top 15 and causing problems for a lot of people. So I'm going Hill here. Next up, we have in the main event. Sorry about that, guys, about my buffering there. I didn't know the Wi-Fi was dropping out, so apologies on that one again. Jack Hermansson is now got a change of opponent because his original opponent, regrettably, tested positive for COVID. So that is a bit of a pain in the ass. But anyway, Kevin Holland is not in, but we have Marvin Vettori, which is a tough fight for Jack Hermansson. Like I was thinking that's not as easy as you think because Vettori is on a free fight win streak. He's looking good. He's looking confident. Just come off with a submission win, which is huge for him. He hasn't had a submission win since his UFC debut. He's coming off a nice little win streak. He's feeling confident. I am, though, going to swing it round. I'm going to go Jack Hermansson. I'm going to tell you right now off the cuff. I'm going UFC bet experience. Hello, brother. Great to have you on again, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, I'm going straight off the cuff. I'm going Jack Hermansson here. And the reason for that is short notice is one of the reasons for Marvin Vettori, cutting the weight down to make weight. And also, it's a 5-round fight. We don't know what the gas tank's going to be like with Marvin because we know what Marvin's like when he's on the feet. He likes to stay on the feet, likes to have a good output of striking, likes to be a bit aggressive. You've got a guy, though, in Jack Hermansson, who has got a good gas tank, who can go hard on the fight, but he's got one of the most. He's got to have one of the best ground and pounds in the division. He has to. I don't care what else. His ground and pound is devastating. When he gets on top, it's a nightmare. He's also got submissions as well. Now the submissions partly come from that ground and pound, where when the guy's getting hurt on the ground, they open themselves up for it. So I think here you might see a Jack Hermansson, Marvin Vettori trying to maybe potentially both want to get the fight to the ground because he both. Well, Marvin's got a bit of confidence from the last win, but Jack Hermansson for me. That ground and pound is dirty, absolutely dirty, and it hurts. I know we lost to Jerry Cannonier. I think a lot of guys are going to have problems with Cannonier. He's just a guy who's got a bit of a granite hand. You know, it's just rocks you and it hurts you. But for me, I think Marvin Vettori's got to keep the fight standing. If he's going to have a chance of winning, he's got to get an early stoppage as well. Hi, John. Hope you're all well. Yeah, I got Joke here for the win. The 90s, good to see you too, brother. A lot of people I've heard of putting betting going for Vettori here. Here we go. Feeling like grappling edge, yeah. The Jack usually has, mate. Get nullified a little, but Hermansson is really tricky, yeah. Yeah, I agree as well. I think he's a bit of a tricky one, Vettori. I think he's got good grappling, he's strong, and he's tough to get down. But I think Jack Hermansson just needs to work the striking, take his time. And he could put a good pace on it. If I'm Jack Hermansson, I'm putting a pace on this fight. I'm trying to go hard for 5 rounds because I know that Vettori hasn't been prepping for a 5-round main event. Now we have got 2 Europeans main event. Now I don't know if we've had 2 5-round 2 Europeans hitting the US cards, but either way, it's a great moment for the European MMA. But for me, Hermansson, he's got that training for 5 rounds. He's prepped already. Vettori's short notice. I give the grappling kind of ground and pound definitely to Hermansson. Vettori's going to maybe want to try and keep it standing. Vettori, I feel he could maybe potentially peak off after the maybe 3rd round. He'll start to really see him drop off in the 3rd if Hermansson can keep the pace up. If I'm Hermansson, I'm just going to stick and move, throw the long shots, the jabs and the straights, and just keep it open like that. Make Marvin Vettori chase me, get him tired, get him going, exchanging some grappling. Get that gas out of him, get that gas tank out, and then you could start to maybe apply your takedowns the 3rd, 4th round. If I'm Hermansson, I can maybe get the grappling exchanges going. I need to watch tape, but if Vettori going to grapple Jack, I can't see how you bet Vettori comfortably. Yeah, exactly. Vettori is a good scrambler. But Hermansson is dominant on top, and that snatched that limb like that. He does. He's very opportunistic. Hermansson on top, but like I said before, I'll say it again. That ground and pound. I would hate to be the guy who's holding pads for him on the ground when he's doing his ground pound. And I think Vettori's corner's got to say keep it standing. You don't want to waste time risking it, getting yourself to the ground like that. It's just a silly move. And I don't think he's going to be dumb enough to do that either. So that's the main card, okay? So we're going to jump down to the prelims. Like I said before, if you're new to this channel, you've just seen this stream, hit that subscribe button while you're there. Thanks very much for all tuning in, by the way. It's much appreciated. It's always great to have everyone in the community. Like I say, MMA Huddle is a community. Me and Will just do this because we love it. It's a bit of fun. And we love MMA, but we love people communicating and joining in conversation. So join in as much as you can, yeah. Use the wrestling. Yeah, I can see that too, brother. So I'm going to jump into prelims. I'm going to do like a kind of rough, quick pick. I want to give a quick reason why I'm picking so-and-so, maybe how as to why. So start at the bottom, I'm going to work my way up. We've got Smolka against José Alberto Quiñónez. It was a hard one to look at this one, if I'm being honest with you, because I thought Quiñónez, he's got that awkward stand-up style. He's pretty straight up, on his toes, good movement. He can put out some output on the feet. Smolka looks a bit more comfortable at actually bantamweight than he does at flyweight. Now, I can't have a go at him losing to Casey Kenny. I think Casey Kenny's going to be an absolute smash hit in the bantamweight division next year. I think he's going to start really getting a good run of wins. But if you look at the Ryan McDonald fight, Smolka looked good there. Matt Schnell, can't have a go at that. Matt Schnell's got a little sneaky little submission wins. But as a whole, he's a solid little fighter. And I think Smolka, for me, I'm going to go Smolka on this one. I think he's got a combination of a striking game. His chin's going to hold off a bit better in bantamweight. I think Quiñónez, he's not a knockout artist guy. He doesn't have this huge power. If you look at his record in his kind of UFC tenure, he's not stopped. Oh, gosh, nearly knocked that over. Whoops. He's not stopped anyone with his hands. He obviously got stopped by Sean O'Malley last. I'm telling you now, I I think Lewis Smolka's kind of safe in this one with his chin. I think he can afford to engage in the striking with Quiñónez, and I think that here you're going to get a Lewis Smolka victory. That's my view on that one, but like I said, I could be totally wrong. Next up we have, though, is a cracking lightweight bout. Gabriel Benítez against Justin Jaynes. Now, Justin Jaynes came along and said, hello, UFC. I'll take up a nice quick first 40-second win against Frank Camacho. Agreed. Kenny is nasty. I like Smolka here too. Think he will actually KO Quiñónez. Nice, just my 2 cents. Nice. Smolka inside the distance. UFC bet. Wonderful. Can't trust Smolka. He still has a drinking problem. Does he the 90s? I don't know if he does, brother. I don't obviously, I don't live at home with him. I don't know. I hope he doesn't, because he has got a good skill set and he's got a good talent. I think he has the right people around him, and anyone at home as well. If any of you guys have any, kind of stuff like that, you don't need to do it. You need to just, man, I think you need to stop drinking. I hope he does, man. I don't drink, guys and girls. I don't drink myself. I don't drink out. But, if someone's got that problem, they need to seek help, assistance, and look towards getting better. And I think Lewis Smolka certainly could do that, because he's got a great skill set and he could be a better fighter. And he could be a bit of a decent guy in the UFC division now that he's back for his second run. Yeah, this next fight, Justin Jaynes had a horrible fight against Gavin Tucker, because Gavin Tucker's a good fighter, talented dude, great little skill set. And I thought it'd be a tough test. And it was. You saw his frustration. You saw him just not being able to answer the puzzle. It was like someone put a mathematical equation on the board, and he just, no matter how much he looked at it, it was not going to happen. And he had a really tough time against a talented guy in Gavin Tucker, who, again, I've always been a bit of a fan of Gavin Tucker on the regional too. Gavin Tucker is hard to fight. Gabriel Benítez, though, is a different kind of guy. Gabriel Benítez is gun-ho. He's happy to stand and brawl. Now, Benítez, though, potentially fighting for his UFC contract. Let's be honest, he's lost 2 in a row. The only guys he's beaten in the UFC who are still here, I think, is no one. So he's not fought. So that's one thing to look at with him. Everyone he's fought now is not in the UFC. So Gabriel Benítez, you've got to question, is he got the skill set? Is he UFC quality? I think Justin Jaynes here could have a bit more success. Now, I think Gabriel Benítez is going to be a tough opponent, because he's got nice front kicks. He's got a chin. He goes to war. He's got conditioning. Gabriel Benítez can be a really tough opponent for a lot of guys. And he has shown it in fights. He does get decisions, usually, but he got stopped by Andre Philly and Sadiq Youssef. He's shown it and gets stopped. He's vulnerable to getting hit. Having a good chin and being that kind of tough guy is not a skill set to have, and you want to have. With Justin Jaynes, he started to take a bit of a beating with Gavin Tucker, and those body kicks from Gavin Tucker really took it out of Justin Jaynes. So if Justin can avoid and adapt to that, just practice. In Muay Thai, one of the things you do if someone teeps you or front kicks you is you just get the ankle, take it away, or you catch the foot like so. Okay. A couple of little drills like that, I think it would help nullify. Benítez is going to throw those front kicks. That was dynamite for Gavin. I think if Justin doesn't learn from that, that is his own fault, and not just his corners and coaching. They have to address it. They have to look into that. Justin will have his dad. That is sick corner him. I think no distance is really likely. Yeah, I think Justin Jaynes got power. I don't know who will get finished, but someone will, in my opinion. I'm going to go with Justin Jaynes. I think he's got good power. I think in his last fight, like say against Tucker, he maybe shot too many heavy punches, didn't set them up right. I think he's got a good pop in his hand. With Gabriel Benítez, he is hittable. You have the chance to hit them. So he will get shots on you, but as long as you just take your time, you'll be able to land it. I think Justin Jaynes should be able to hit him hard here and really hurt him. Just wet the cockles there so I can carry on talking. So Justin Jaynes for me. I'm going stoppage, guys. I think he 100% gets a stoppage win here. Next up we have is Ilia Topuria against Damon Jackson. This is a tasty fight, ladies and gentlemen. You've got a couple of guys. I know Topuria. Will is big up on Topuria. I think he's a good fighter. I don't think he's great. I know he's had a ton of submission wins. There's a Lille fight. Showed some vulnerabilities in his fight, but I'm going straight off the bat. I'm going with Damon Jackson. I really am. Honestly, I think Damon Jackson might pull out here. I think Damon Jackson's got a skill set of not just submissions as well. So I think Topuria and Jackson, maybe if this goes to the ground, you might see a ferocious kind of exchange of grappling. He's been stopped with strikes, Jackson, a couple of times, but he's been fighting a lot longer, and his return into the big time in the UFC, he's looked solid. He got a lovely win against Vettori, who's a top level guy. Third round win. He was losing that fight because of the top ground position, but what he showed was an adaptability and knowledge to how to defend himself. I think in this fight, Topuria, if he gets on top, he's nowhere near the kind of wrestling that Vettori has. So I think that Jackson might have an opportunity to maybe get his submission attempts, or he might even be able to go for something himself in a different way. And what I mean by that is he might be able to get the striking going and might be able to keep the fight standing. I like the fight, man. I like this. Ilia Topuria is a special talent. I think he wins. Yeah, definitely need to tape this one more. I think Topuria is a good talent as well. I really do. I think he's got some skill sets on the grappling side of things. I just worry that when you get a guy who could maybe stop that takedown attempt, like we saw Brian Ortega when you couldn't get Brian Ortega couldn't get you down, and you didn't go for the takedowns. Brian Ortega was stuck, and he had to go away, sort it out, address it, and come forward again. I think you're going to see that here. I think Topuria might have a bit. I want to go Topuria. Sorry. I keep saying Topuria. I'm going to Damon Jackson here. I think he might be able to actually surprise some people here. I think he might be able to get a stoppage over Topuria. I think he's got a kind of striking side of it to add to his game that I think Topuria is lacking. I think the submission games with Jackson is there. So Jackson's got the defense as well. He's got the offense and defense. I think Topuria is going to have a hard fight. I think it's going to be a good introduction for a good fight for him to get going, and a good kind of test for him against a veteran in Jackson. But I'm definitely going to go with Jackson on this one here. Don't worry, I'll probably get this very freaking wrong. But do you know what? This happens. Next up we have is Jimmy Flick against Cody Durden. Flyweight division. Two guys who are. It's good to have I want to say fresh blood. It's good to have, young blood in there, kind of opponents. Jimmy Flick, good fighter, good talent on the kind of regional scene. He lost a couple of fights. He lost to the likes of Chris Gutierrez, who's obviously in the UFC bantamweight. That was at bantamweight. CJ Hamilton, who used to fight, he's fought on LFA, Titan FC. He's fought multiple promotions as well. So he's got a handful of good wins. He's also got a handful of losses, which is something you got to look into when he's been stopped by guys a couple of times. You kind of got to think to yourself, is his chin lacking like Malcolm's was last week, or is it a case of he opens himself as an exposing? I have a bet on Cody Durden. The odds are way off, in my opinion. Well, that's one thing, Jimmy Flick. He's had a lot of fights. Cody Durden, he is a guy who, look, that fight against Chris Gutierrez, he fought hard in that fight, man. That was a hard fight. Chris Gutierrez looked good. I thought Cody looked solid in that for his, considering the kind of debut against a talented guy, Chris Gutierrez. He'll put on a performance. If you look on the regional scene, the guys he's fighting, a lot of the time he fought guys who got better records than Durden. Better records, positive records like a 6-2, 10-3, 6. That kind of thing. That's fantastic for you because it shows that you're not fighting bums. It really tests you. He fought on the regional scene. He had a couple of boxing, exhibition kickboxing fights, boxing bouts. All that kind of stuff adds to the skill set. In his earlier days, he lost to Jared Scoggins, who's a talented guy, as we all know. We know who Scoggins is now. I think here, I'm going Cody as well. I think he's got a hell of a skill set. I think he's aggressive. I think he's got good cardio, and he's toughened. I think he's going to cause Jimmy problems. Same here. Got to watch more tape. Yeah, watch more tape on Jimmy. Like I say, one thing with Jimmy is don't watch, obviously, I know they had the submission win in the Contender Series. He fought an LFA against Fisher, which was a solid win in the arm triangle. But that happened really quick. He kind of caught him off guard at the very start of the fight. No, I'm not knocking an early stoppage, but I'm just saying, if you look at his losses prior to that, the Chris Gutierrez stoppage, the Ray Rodriguez stoppage, they're the fights I look at as well. I don't just look at the last couple of wins. If they've won 4 or 5 in a row, that's great. But if I see they've lost a couple, I jump in Yeah, I also bet on Durden because the line seems super wide, definitely raging. Yet I go Durden as well. I look at the Jimmy Flick's losses. I see why did he get stopped? Why did he get hit? Because not everyone in the bantamweight and the flyweight division, not all of them have knockout power. And I thought, what is it that Jimmy Flick is doing? Maybe, and some guys just let themselves get hit, or they put themselves in that chance to get hit. I think Cody here is going to cause problems. I'm going Cody Durden as well. I think he gets a win. I think he maybe gets a stoppage over Jimmy Flick as well. But that's just my view on that one. Next up, we have a guy who, man, it kind of hurts to watch him keep fighting, but he is. We've got Matt Wiman. He's back again. You know, I know he had his break. He had his, and he's had his loss. And then he's lost to Luis Pena. Got absolutely murdered in that. That was a rough introduction back to the UFC. Then he lost to Joe Selecki, who just really grappled him, kind of blanketed him. But to be honest with you, Matt Wiman, if he didn't have a solution for it, that's his fault. Now he's facing Jordan Leavitt. Leavitt now is, in my opinion, uber young in his MMA career, super young. He's got a huge opportunity to fight a very knowledgeable and experienced guy. Matt Wiman isn't the fastest. He's not the quickest now, so that's something you've got to look at and take advantage of. He certainly seems like it seems like he got when he was back in a few years ago when he was fighting. It seems like he's still there, that skill set, and it feels like the sport is went a bit further on, and he's not just there yet. He's not caught up, and he might not catch up a bit. But I feel here that Jordan's got an opportunity to get a submission win, maybe, because you found with the Matt Wiman fight against Joe Selecki, he didn't have the answers when he got taken to the ground and he was on his back. He just couldn't get that. He just couldn't get him off. Now he's got a couple of submissions on his back, on his own back, Matt Wiman, but it's not really something he's known for. His kind of skill set is outworking you, out surviving you. He's a guy who goes decision. He just has a lot of decisions on his record. That's his skill set. Outworks you. He'll outgrind you. He will just outstrike you. He does all that was his skill set. And a 155er now fighting at 37. That kind of thing's going to start to not work in your favor. Leavitt is my parlay builder this week. Yeah, John Leavitt reminds me of the Ryan Hall with his BJJ. The dude is slick, man. I watched his the Johnny Walker heel hook, really quick in the fight. And to be honest with you, he got a couple of other wins on the kind of regional scenes, but he's showing some wicked talent, and he's got the opportunities to get them against Matt Wiman, because Matt Wiman does leave himself exposed. Joe Selecki didn't take advantage of it. I felt Joe Selecki was just playing it safe. He just wanted to get that W against the veteran of the sport. I'm going Jordan Leavitt as well. I think Jordan can get the stoppage here. I think he can get submission over Matt Wiman. The UFC know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Matt Wiman's not going to do anything. He's not going to make money. He's not going to bring anything to the table for the UFC. Now, COVID's on. This is the perfect opportunity, right? Since then, they just get him on the promotion, get him out of there. He's not going to be doing much. And then hopefully for the UFC, they'll be able to cut his contract, 3 losses, off you go. Goodbye. Thank you very much. So I'm going Leavitt on that one as well. I think submission win. Inside the distance might be good odds. I don't know what odds are out there. Yeah, I feel like the game is past Wiman. Yeah, I think Leavitt will now move through. Yeah. The UFC is smart, though. Give that Jordan kid a nice guy like Wiman. Gets him a good name. Gets him a name on his record. Builds up that kind of resume. That's what the UFC do with young guys and young fighters. It's a smart move. I'm with them on that. I can't knock them for it. I love that. So we're going to go next up to the main event on the prelims. What a insanely exciting fight. It's probably the fight of the night. As all you people at home are super excited about this. 2 guys who, kind of need a win. Jake Collier, who looks like he ate Jake Collier at heavyweight. And you got Gian Vellante, who just likes pizza and doesn't want to cut 205 anymore. Effectively, just 2 overweight 205ers we have on the card. I am not expecting anything amazing in this fight at all. Gian Vellante, gosh, Maurice Green got submitted by Maurice Green. Like, what are you doing getting submitted by Maurice Green? I don't get that. He lost his last 2 fights by stoppages, 1 submission, 1 striking. Jake Collier got absolutely murked by Tom Aspinall. Expected, because Tom Aspinall is a legit talent. If none of you guys at home have watch Tom Aspinall, don't know much about him. The dude honestly is going to be a huge success in the heavyweight division. Huge success. Yeah, for me, one of the things Jake Collier has lack of is how often he fought. Like, he doesn't fight often enough. Even when he was fighting his regular basis, he had a few fights here and there. Like 2012 was the last time he was. Prior to 2012, he was regular. Then it was like a 2013 fight, couple in 2014, couple in 2015, 2016, couple in 2017, and then it was then 2020. It was too much of a gap. I feel Jake Collier, it's going to be just not that great. My God, with this fight, yeah, people are poor. May, well done. Just my 2 cents picking Porter. I didn't. I picked Parisian because I think he should have won, and I still think to this day he still should have bloody won that fight. How do you lose to Porter, man? He just looks like he ate the KFC bucket twice. Beer belly battle, mate. It is. It's gonna be. It's gonna be ugly, isn't it? I don't know. Like my pick. I don't care. My pick is I hope they both knock each other out at the same time and then they get cut. I don't care. I don't think anyone cares. Do they? Does anyone care about this fight? Like, realistically, I love it. I love MMA. I don't want to have a slight on them. I'm not trying to be belittling them, but I just think it's a fight that no one really cares about. And it's just not fair, is it? It's not. It's not fair putting us through that. Luckily enough, people don't have to pay to go to watch it. So that's, I suppose, in itself a blessing. But yeah, I'm going to go with. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with Gian Vellante. The reason for that is I liked him with that Dana White show. I can't remember what it is now. What's that Dana White? Dana White looking for a fighter. He was on there, and he's got a personality. He's a bit of fun. I'm going Gian Vellante. That is it. The reason for my pick is because I like his personality. That's how bad it is. TJ Kill, yeah, Jake Collier is this week's Parker Porter. He could be, mate. He could. Look, this fight's going to be... shocking. But either way, I'm going to jump over to the betting side, all right? So we're going to look at some of the odds for the fights. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you new subscribers and like the video if you haven't done already. Got to hit the bottom of the card and work our way up from this odds. Smolka is a minus 135. Obviously, this is the time I've looked at this. It's a Monday evening in the UK. 100% could change in the next couple of hours, but this is what I've got for now. Lewis Smolka minus 135. Quiñónez plus 105. Pretty much almost to pick him. Vellante with way more experience, but he looked such a tub. Heavyweight, can't see him looking much better though. But Jake Collier, yeah, God, I'm really going to pick Jake Collier. Mate, it's so hard. I feel bad picking either one. I'm only picking Jamahal because I just think he's a funnier guy. Benítez against Jaynes. You got minus 210 for Benítez. That's a huge one. Justin Jaynes plus 170. Yeah, like we said before, those odds, they're off. If you've got money, you've got a bit of money spare, I'd go Justin Jaynes. Well, I put my money on that one straight away. Topuria is minus 230 and Jackson plus 185. I picked Jackson. That's a good dog money. I'm telling you now. Jackson, great veteran. Like I said before, plus 180. That's good odds. Flyweight division, Jimmy Flick, minus 170. Cody, plus 140. Dang, there are some crazy nice odds this weekend, guys and girls. You've got opportunities to make some money. What's up new to this channel? What's going on? Gustav Hollander. Right, Gustav Hollander. That sounds like a Scandinavian name. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Usually I have my co-host, not live stream, but usually my co-host and I post a video out with our UFC picks. We break down the UFC cards. We talk about bets. Feel free to comment. You're joining us right now. I've already went through the card, my friend, but I'm going through the bets now. If you've got any bets or picks for this week, feel free to comment. There are people, like you say, you got TJ Kill, Collier, same way Green got on by Motorsport. Yeah. You've got TJ Killer there. You got just my 2 cents, the 90s. You've got definitely Raging. There's a bunch of guys on here talking. Liam as well. Gustav, it's a community. Join the conversation, friend. If you want to talk about bets, if there's bets you're not sure about or picks, that's what we're here for, my friend. We're here to talk fights, enjoy fights, and talk about the wonderful thing that is MMA that we all come together for. Let's go to the flyweight division. Like I said, Cody at plus 140. That's good money. That's good value. If you haven't already got Cody Durden, I think you want to get on that. Next up, we have Matt Wiman, Jordan Leavitt. Jordan's minus 400, and Matt Wiman plus 300. sounds about right. Gian Villante minus 210. Jake Collier plus 170. Like you said there, just my 2 cents. Plus 170 for Jake Collier. That's not a bad underdog because either one of them could win this fight. Honestly, that's a pick and fight. I think that's good. That's good underdog money. So, bro, you could actually get something there. I would obviously put it in a parlay. I'd stick it on a solo bet, but that's not bad. Man, Nate Landwehr is plus 375 and Evloev is minus 550. God damn, that is a wide gap. Man, that's some disrespect for Nate, but at the same time, he is probably going to get schooled by Evloev. But you parlay that maybe? I don't know if I'm bothered with that. Roman against John. Here we go. Roman is minus 165. John plus 135. 165. That's a good one. You can stick that in a parlay piece for Roman. I feel very confident he's going to get the W here. Just my 2 cents. Might wait and see how Villante looks on the Libras. Man, Villante's just going to look like a bubble, and Jake Collier is going to look like a bubble as well. It's going to look like a bar stool fight, isn't it? Two guys who have just put their beers down, got outside, took the tops off. Next flyweight division, we have De La Rosa's plus 170, Santos minus 210. Sounds about right. Yeah, again, you can maybe parlay Roman and Santos together. You might get some good money on that. Co-main event, OSP is plus 135, and Jamahal Hill is minus 165. I like those odds for Jamahal Hill, 165. That's good money. Again, OSP, I just can't trust him. Even if he wins, and again, I still wouldn't trust him for the next fight. Jack Hermansson, plus 105. Vettori, minus 135. I heard money come in for Vettori. A lot of people put money in for him. Right now, you can get Hermansson at plus money. I don't know why you wouldn't throw that money on there. Nate is a legit shot. Man, Marcus Lee, Nate has got a horrible gas tank, as in it doesn't stop. It doesn't end. The dude's got great conditioning, comes forward, super aggressive. He can wear you out with his aggression, forward momentum, and striking. I am with you on that one, Marcus, but I feel Evloev will grind him out. But let's look at this, guys and girls. That main event, plus 105 for Hermansson, minus 135 for Vettori. For me, I think you jump on that Hermansson money straight away because I think that's maybe going to flip over to a pick 'em. You might see Hermansson at plus 110 and minus 110 and Vettori at plus 110 come Friday. But that's my view on that one. I could be very wrong. So that's the betting side of things for this card. Next week we have Figueiredo. Really crazy turnaround for UFC 256. Obviously, they have to move the kind of cards around a bit because of the main events, etc. But that's crazy, man. We've got Figueiredo against Moreno next week, man. As a pay-per-view, you got Tony Ferguson, Charles Oliveira, which is a disgustingly good fight. Moicano against Figueiredo, which I was super stoked about the other week, but it's happening this week. Next week, sorry. That's a great fight. Junior Santos against Cyril Gane. That's another fantastic fight to look forward to. You got Jacare against Kevin Holland, a changed-up matchup, which is going to be wild. Jing Liang against Dwight Grant, and that's another. This fight card to the end of the year is, I tell you what, I tip my cap off. It's a cracking little fight. You've also got, who else you got? Cub Swanson, Daniel Pineda. Okay, good. Jillian Robertson's against Andrea Lee. Honestly, folks, next week card is really bloody good. Marvin has to finish. Marcus, I said that as well, brother. I agree. Gustav, Jack versus Marvin. How does Jack win and how does Marvin win? Gustav, quick one for me. It won't last 5 rounds. Yeah, I don't think so. It could go many ways, Gustav. Yeah, Gustav, it could very well. Marvin keep out on the feet. He could outstrike and outwork him. But I think in the short notes, he'll have a bit of a problem with the gas tank. If I'm Jack Hermansson, in the first couple of rounds, I put the pace on him, land the strikes, and then get the takedowns maybe later on the end of each round. And then come the start, maybe the 3rd round, start the 4th round, you get the takedowns if you're Jack Hermansson. That ground and pound from Jack Hermansson is scary. He hit so hard. I would not want to get hit with that ground and pound, mate. I think Jack Hermansson can really go there and land some ground and pound, open up the opportunity for submission, rear naked choke, guillotine, whatever it is, arm bars. That's why I'm picking over towards Jack Hermansson. So that's my picks this week. Thank you, guys. You've been tremendous joining in this conversation. It's been great flowing. I'm going to jump off now. And again, we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll be here and we'll be able to do not a live stream, sadly, which is annoying. I'm going to figure out how we can maybe work something out, whether it's Twitch. I don't know. We'll try and sort something out, me and Will. But again, thank you for joining in. Everyone who's new, hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing more stuff in the future. Just my 2 cents, brother. It's pleasure. I love hearing your comments and your picks as well, friend. All of you at home, have a great week. Love one another. Spread the love of MMA. Spread just love in general. I'll see you all soon, guys and girls. Love you all.